Bangkok's a city full of condos, and I've shown you guys so many condo tour videos over the years, but what I haven't shown you is the other option, living in a house. And today I'm gonna get to do that because I'm about to meet a guy who not only bought a townhouse, but he renovated the townhouse, and he agreed to give us a tour, tell us the story, trials, tribulations, how much did it cost, would he recommend it to you? And the craziest thing is that you'd think to get into a house in Bangkok, you'd have to go to the outskirts of the city. Well, I'm right here in the heart of a soak, and the guy that we're about to see lives about 200 meters that way, right in the center of a soak. Let's go check this shit out. So that's where I was just coming from. This is Sukhumvit, Soi 23 right here, the second Soi 23. And he's supposed to be just on this little offshoot down here. Oh, there it is. Wow, looks like he did a good job. Let's go see if he's here.
Hey Chris,
how's it going, man?
Good to see you, come on in.
Well, this place looks nicer than I expected.
This is it.
Wow. Holy moly.
So my name is Chris. I've been here in Bangkok for 4 years in Thailand.
4 years, and you've already bought and renovated and moved into this house?
That's right, yeah.
What brought you to Thailand?
I got married and my wife is Thai, and so it made the most sense to move here. So I was in the US previously, in California, and came here right before COVID in early 2020, and I've been here ever since. This is actually the third place I've lived now since I moved here.
Did you start off in a condo?
So we started off in my wife's family's apartment up in Lad Prao.
What made you decide to buy a townhouse and do a renovation?
When I moved here, of course, we just got married, no kids. In that condo, it was a 2-bedroom condo, spacious for the two of us, but then we had our first daughter and then our second, and after the second one, we realized there was no space left. It was getting too tight. We had a couple options. We could move out to the suburbs and get a big place and get a lot of room and maybe a yard, but we'd be really far away, and that wasn't really something that we wanted to do. I wanted to stay in the city, and for anyone who looked for houses in Bangkok, you know that it's not the easiest thing. It's not like the US where you can find everything online and there's really good data about like what it sold for and when. So we started looking online, we started reaching out to realtors, like listings on, like there are listing sites, but a lot of times nobody would respond, or they would respond and say, it was sold last year, or
so it was all just outdated. Everything online's outdated.
Right, yeah. And so there's no real consistency. And then we were walking down this street here, and we stumbled into this Soi, and we saw a little sign, probably about this big, on the garage gate that said for sale. And that was it, had a phone number. And we called it, and then the owner picked up. But there was no listing of this site anywhere else online. It had never been put online. It had been sitting here empty for sale for almost a year.
What did it look like back then?
It looked very different. It was similar to the ones in the area where there's a duplex, right? So two right next to each other. The one side had been torn down a while ago, and apartment building built there. This one was still here, but they had added on additions, a couple of additions over the years, so it was a little bit hodgepodge, but had some like really good character and had the location was great.
What's the process then? You call the owner, you look at it, fast forward to, I think we want this, then what happens?
In Thailand, there's different rules around like how land sales can be transferred. So we agreed to a price with the owner, and then we had to go to the land office to actually do the transfer of the papers. Normally you can get an agent to do that for you and kind of expedites the process. We were trying to save a little bit of money and didn't do that. And I know it was a headache for my wife. She was the one who had to handle all that, dealing with the government and whatnot. You get the deed or the title transferred over, a bunch of paperwork there, pay some taxes and some fees, and then it's yours.
Right off the bat, did you guys have it in mind that you were going to gut the place?
We knew we needed to renovate it. I think my wife and I had different visions of what would happen. I definitely wanted to fix it up and clean it up, but she wanted to do like a little bit more.
You're like a coat of paint and we're good.
Well, when we first bought it, the owner said, yeah, everything's great. I just put a new tile floor in, but the upstairs toilet, when you flush it, it leaks into the main floor. And I was like, we might need to do a little bit more than the coat of paint. Yeah, so I think at that point when we started touring it, we realized that it needed work, but we didn't realize how much would change until we started talking to the architect.
How did you find the architect?
There was one that we had seen their work online. I can't remember their name, but we'd seen their work online a lot, and we said, and they kind of specialize in taking these old sort of old Thai houses and bringing them into like the modern day. And they came in and they took a survey of everything. They asked us a lot of questions. What do what's your routine? What do you like to do? What do you want space for? Et cetera, et cetera. And then they came up with three options, and they gave us models. So we had 3 sort of balsa wood models of what we could have. Of what houses.
Wow. Oh, that's cool.
So it was cool to be able to visualize it. And at that point, I knew that this was a big project because none of the models all looked completely different from the house that we had. One of the things that we tried to do is make it a little bit more family friendly because we knew we have kids and we want to have more, but so we needed a lot of bedrooms. In Thailand, bedrooms tend to be a little bit bigger because people spend more time there. But for us, we wanted something that was like a big open family space, and then a number of smaller bedrooms. And so we got that sort of laid out, and we were able to kind of work with the design that we had. We have now 4 bedrooms in this big open living space.
And we're going to get a tour in just a second where I'm really going to dig into kind of the process of renovating it as you walk me through. But I'm curious, what do you do here in Bangkok?
I work at Agoda right now, so I work in the customer service side there, and I've been there since the beginning of 2021. I have a little like hobby business on the weekends that I do with a few friends of mine. It's a place called Len Golf. It's a golf simulator.
I just learned the word Len Golf in my Thai class. That means play golf.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my God, I love me. My buddies played screen golf a bunch back in Korea and Toronto. Before we do the tour, can we go see this?
Yeah, of course.
See your facility?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let me get out of here. So as we head out to check out Len Golf, see what his business is all about, just to give you a sense as to how central in Bangkok this guy's located, I've been on the BTS for no more than 40 seconds, and that's Soy Cowboy. We're pulling up to the Asok BTS right now. Super convenient location, and a bit of an oasis in the middle of that location. Now let's go check out Len Golf.
So we're located right in Mercuryville, which is a little mall attached to the BTS station called Chitlom. So you take the BTS to Chitlom, you get off, follow the signs from Mercuryville, and you'll come out on the 3rd floor, take the escalator up 1 floor, and we're right here.
Oh,
a good shot.
A rocket. A rocket.
Thank you.
Yes. You like it here?
Yes, I like Bangkok very much.
Nice.
So this is it. So we have 3 golf simulators. And we also have a little built-in putting green area. And of course, whenever you play golf, you get thirsty, right? So we have a bar. We have drinks, and we also have food from a restaurant downstairs. Yeah, so I think a lot of people come here. So you have expats who live here. We also have tourists that come in on vacation and they want to do something different for an afternoon. They'll come in here and play golf, have a few drinks, and yeah, it's a good time.
All right, no pressure. I want to see you hit one, man. Oh, look at this. You can tell the guy owns the place. How long we got? 200.
There you go.
Okay. All right, well, this is a nice place, man. I'll leave a link for people to to come and check it out if they want. But can you show me your place? Let's go do a tour.
Yeah, let's do it.
So let's just back up. I want to get the trials, tribulations. You got your balsam wood models from your architect, and you landed on your final design.
Yep.
What's next? You have to find your contractor?
Yep, so then you basically send out the design to a few contractors for bidding. I think we sent ours out, we talked to 3 or 4 different contractors. We got prices that ranged quite a bit.
Do you mind saying what range you were looking at?
Yeah, so I mean, they were anywhere from 5 million to 10 million. We got a bid and we went with that contractor.
Nice, well, can we walk through it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so this is the main room. So you have the kitchen here. We have a couple of creature comforts from the US, a dishwasher and hot water and a garbage disposal here because I wanted it to feel more like home. Here we have our dining area with good storage. We had the architect design back here specifically for knowing that we would have kids. So we have like a space for our high chair. And a space for our
just to store. So you guys really built this house for yourselves.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the benefit of having starting from kind of scratch.
And all these touches over here, like the bookshelves, this whole section, is this part of the final designs from the architect, or
Yep.
where does that end, and where does your kind of interior design begin?
Yeah, so that was all architects. These are all like what they call built-ins. All the stuff that's built in usually is grouped with the construction of the house.
And then when you get all this is just loose furniture.
This is just loose furniture that we added, yeah.
How big is the piece of property itself?
Something around 25 to 30.
And what's out here, patio?
Yeah, so we have a patio out here, place for the kids to play, and then I have a little home office here. So I work from home about half of the week.
And so what budget contractor did you end up deciding to go with?
So we went with a contractor that was about a little under 5 million for the build.
And how did that play out? Did they come in on budget?
Yes and no. So they built what they were contracted to build on budget. Where we ran into some issues was where there was some design problems. Where things they built it and we had to tear it out and redo it.
Anything on this floor that falls in that category?
Actually, the car park, they built it according to specs,
Yeah.
but it was too high. So we had trouble actually getting the car in there. Once we moved in, they had to tear it out and lower it.
And what did it end up at?
Probably 5.5.
Oh, so not bad.
Not too bad.
And what do we have here?
So here we have, this was originally designed to be my wife's office. You can imagine it with none of this stuff in here and a nice desk. It'd be a really nice place to work in the morning with all the view.
Wow. I love the way you guys have done the windows throughout the place. They're really cool looking.
Yeah, thank you. So,
and instead, look at this. This is a little girl's dream, man.
That's right. It works really well because there's a glass wall here as part of the original design, and so we can always see them. They can see us if we're down in the living room. So it makes it super convenient.
So next, we're on another kind of half level.
So yeah, this is sort of the main second level. So this is where this is where most of the bedrooms are.
I love this big staircase, man. And it's so nice and bright. And then down here, so this is the master?
The master, so we have a small bathroom in here, and then lots of light. We're lucky that our neighbor has, I guess it's just 2 empty lots that they own, but it's a big yard with a lot of trees and a lot of green, so it makes it's nicer. It's better for us to look at that than look at another concrete house. The big bathroom for all the kids and everybody staying here. Took advantage of the high ceilings in the existing house, so
Yeah, everything looks to be finished solid.
Yeah. This is the guest bedroom. So when we have like my parents come over, her parents, they stay here.
How did it all play out working with the contractor? Did they do it as on time for what you expected?
No. So that was, I mean, I think our contractor was good. We like him, but things took a lot longer than expected. So this is my daughter's room. Eventually, both of them will be in here, but we've got a little bit of light in here as well.
I remember when we needed this, man. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
My daughter's got 1 year of university left.
Yeah, I don't need that anymore.
So your master's here.
Yep.
Laundry there. And then take me upstairs.
Yeah, let's do it. We moved my wife's office out of that downstairs room, and so her office is now up here.
You got so much natural light everywhere you go.
Yeah, so we wanted to maintain, keep the ability to have lots of guests, so we still have a sofa bed here. This is where my wife works most of the time. Last piece here, so in our design process, we were going to the architect to finalize the design, and we were already sort of at the last day. And we went to our architect's office, and he had a roof deck. And my wife saw the roof deck, and she looked at the architect. She said, "Can we have one too?" And so, a last-minute addition was this roof deck. But I think it was worth it.
Oh, this is nice.
So,
Wow. Okay. This is when you realize that you're still in the middle of Bangkok. So did you redo the entire electric and plumbing and everything in here from scratch?
Yeah. So all that had to be torn out and redone. Yeah.
So all of that for just about $5 million, eh?
Yeah, it's not too bad.
So super helpful that your wife's Thai. Say there's someone out there watching who is looking to do some renovations without a Thai on their team. Would that have an impact?
It could be a challenge, yeah. And it depends on the contractor, right? So the contractor we used over it to prepare the space for Len Golf that you saw, he actually was pretty fluent in English, but I think it's maybe the exception. The contractor we used here was not as comfortable in English, so I had to use my broken Thai when I talked to him, and even then, I probably wasn't getting the right message through. So it was most of that burden fell on my wife.
And so I know we didn't want to kind of bring up the purchase price and the total finances. I appreciate you talking about the cost of the renos. But overall, would you be able to say whether you think it's been a good decision financially for you?
We didn't build this with the idea of selling it at some point and making money. But I imagine if we were to use this as like an Airbnb or a short-term rental, we'd probably...
Man, you'd kill it with that,
make some money,
eh?
yeah.
Like, imagine that. Like, look at this. It's just so unique compared to anything else you'd find on Airbnb. And what would you say to anyone out there who's thinking about the potential, or they might be thinking, is condo my only option for life in Bangkok? Should I consider a house? What would you say to those people?
I would say, there's a lot of houses out there that are actually on the market for sale, but the problem is finding them. So that's a challenge. If you're trying to find them remotely, I would say that could be really tricky. But like we did, just walking around, we did a lot of driving around looking for places with signs up, because again, like the market for real estate, I think is just not as open. But I think it's a real option. The only thing I would say you have to be conscious of is, you buy a condo, you can move in the next month. If you want to buy a house and you want to do some renovation, you should plan for a long time. You have to be willing to be patient.
So what do you think? Would you consider doing that? Buying a townhouse, gutting the place, renovating it, and moving in? Or are you more of a renter type? Let me know in the comments below. And whether you're looking to buy or rent, reach out to us if you want. Connect at retiredworkingforyou.com. I'll hook you up with an agent here in Bangkok. Her name's Noi. She's helped like 25 of you already this year find mostly condo rentals here in Bangkok, 12-month rentals. So reach out, and if you're into golf, check out Len's place, or Len Golf, Chris's place, Len Golf. Nice guys. It was cool of him to let us into his place and share his story. So check his place out. I think I might have a party there soon. Anyways, I'll see you guys in another video soon.